Welcome back to Alchemy of the Dark Feminine with your host, Grace and Khan. Today I'm discussing how to navigate the work environment with narcissists. So let's go straight into what exactly is narcissism in the first place, okay? Narcissism is basically a personality disorder where an individual thinks very highly of themselves and they need admiration from others. They believe that other people are inferior to them, and they also lack empathy for others. And the way that you can catch yourself in a narcissistic abusive cycle with coworkers or bosses or whoever at your job is you go through 3 stages. You go through this idealization stage of being showered with affection and admiration from the narcissist. You start to feel valued and special. And then all of a sudden, you hit phase 2, which is devaluation. So this is when the narcissist starts to undermine and criticize you, starts to erode your self-esteem, okay? Their whole goal is to make sure you feel devalued. They want you to not value yourself. They want you to seek that external validation within them, all right? And then phase 3 is the discard phase, where they abruptly end the relationship or they can withdraw affection, which leaves you feeling confused, hurt, and discarded. And then it starts all over again, okay? So identifying that behavior in coworkers, bosses, and clients. So I have had tons of personal experience with narcissists at my job. I did recently have one narcissistic coworker quit. She was extremely narcissistic and she knew I could see through her bullshit, which I think is the main reason why she quit in the first place, because that really intimidated her. And I feel like when you are confident and very self-aware and very conscious of your surroundings and who you are as an individual, when you truly value yourself, you truly know your worth, you truly know what you deserve, and you go around those individuals, they act like a coward. They are scared of you, okay? Right? Because their whole intention is to gain control over you for their own supply, their own energetic supply. So, let's see. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, yeah. So when I first started working at my most recent restaurant job, I came in for my interview, and the narcissistic individual greeted me at the front, and she basically gaslighted me and tried to say something that I said that I never said, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was so confused. I was like, why is she doing that? Why is she gaslighting me right now? Like, this is so weird. And at the time, I was still trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle. I was still living with my mother at the time. And so anyway, it wasn't as obvious because I had to break out of the cycle in order to see it fully for what it is and to fully see those people for who they are, if that makes any sense. And then I also had another instant where I had a narcissistic customer. I've actually had multiple narcissistic customers, but I remember this one in particular that I had, and he sat at the table. I just knew he was going to be like complaining about everything the second he sat down, and he was looking to get a free meal. He was looking to take advantage of somebody, and it wasn't going to be me. I wasn't playing his games. And I remember bringing in his food, and about on average, our food takes like 15-ish minutes or so for a pretty good entree size. Like, it's not like a small portion. Like, these are pretty big portions. And so anyway, I remember coming back to the table and he was like, how long is it going to take for my food to be ready? It's been like 30-ish minutes. And I so quickly, instinctually just pulled out my receipt from the time I sent his food in. And I said, actually, it's only been 12 minutes. And I said, it's almost ready, by the way. And he was just dead silent. Like, he didn't say one word to me. And so I ended up running his food, brought it back to the table. I dropped the check off because I was like, nope, not dealing with this. And he actually ended up leaving. And his wife or girlfriend, whoever she was like, oh, I'm so sorry about him, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, if I was you, I'd be embarrassed too. Like, that's embarrassing. Because I could never be with somebody like that, no way. And so anyway, yeah, I ended up Still getting tipped from that table because what the fuck? No, I'm not going to let you like bully me and run me into the ground and try to intimidate me. Like, no, he came across the wrong one that day. And so, yeah, I mean, there's endless examples, countless examples that I could give y'all. But we're just going to stop with that for now. Okay, so the third thing I want to discuss is setting clear boundaries without confrontation. So if you're in a situation at work where you're having a chaotic situation with a narcissistic coworker and they scream at you in front of everybody and they try to belittle you, they try to like make you feel like you're less than, make you feel small. Okay, stand on 10 toes. Stand on 10 toes, like stand your ground, speak your truth, and say, 1, you're not going to speak to me like that, and 2, have a seat. Get away from me, remove yourself. Or you can also remove yourself at the same time while all of that's going down, and just nipping that entire situation in the bud, all right? Don't be scared. I know that a lot of you are scared because a lot of you do rely on your matrix job to provide for your income, but I will say this. Get your finances, get your financial health in order so that way you are going to be in a better place, in a better situation to shift into a better job or a better career situation. Okay, because unfortunately we live in a narcissistic society, and so there's going to be narcissists everywhere. They are rampant everywhere. So make sure you got your own back. You've got this. Okay, you can do this. You can establish a savings. You can have some form of investment somewhere. All right. And then yeah, when you stand your ground, you can stand your ground confidently and be like, you know what? I don't fucking need this job. I can go work anywhere else. Like there's hundreds of jobs out here. I can create my own job if I can't find a job or whatever. Like you can always figure it out. All right. If I can figure it out, you guys can figure it out. But yeah, just set those clear boundaries and make a statement and say, you're not going to talk to me like that. You know, you have officially lost all access to my energy. You don't have those privileges anymore. And if you want to speak to me about something outside of work, that's not happening anymore. If it's not work related, please excuse yourself, you know, or I will excuse myself. And that's just it. And that leads me to the fourth thing that I want to talk about, which is embracing silence. Silence is going to be your superpower. Okay, when narcissists watch you stay silent and stay to yourself and not play into their games, they start getting intimidated by you. They start getting scared because they're like, oh my God, what is she thinking? What's going on in her mind? Well, in the meantime, psychologically, like you're actually just observing their behaviors and you're clocking that T every single second. All right, you are documenting that information. It is 333. Okay, I accept. I'm ready to receive. I love the 333 synchronicity because it's like a creative energy kind of frequency, and it's like here's a sign from the universe to step into your own creative energy and start experimenting with that in your own personal life. And anyways, embrace your passions. So one thing I've learned from being silent at my job, my restaurant job, is it intimidates a lot of people. They get really scared. They come talk to me like this. Hi, Grayson, is there anything else I can do for you? Or they like start like doing my job for me and like this being over the top helpful, right? Because they know they played a hand in doing you wrong. And for some of them, that might bother them because they're like, oh shit, like this girl's going somewhere in her life. She's getting really serious attention from the public. And I do not want to be a part of that. I do not want to be a part of that serious attention because narcissists like to hide. They are cowards. They are the biggest fucking pussies on this planet. I'm going to say it for what it is because that's facts. They have every right to feel ashamed because they are shameful human beings, okay? And they know what they're doing. They know that they're doing people wrong. And I'm so tired of seeing people make excuses for them. I'm done with that. All right? So start embracing silence. It is your superpower. Keep contact to a bare minimum or nothing if possible, okay? And just stand on 10 toes. Stand in your own energy. You've got yourself. You've got your own back. Go do your job and go home. You don't have to be friends with those people. You don't need to overshare. You don't need to tell them your personal life and anything like that, all right? I get it. If you grew up in a narcissistic family system and you start your healing journey, you just want to overshare with everybody around you, you start receiving exciting news, and I get it because you're at work all the time and you're like, well, I feel like I have to tell these people my life and my successes because these are the people I'm around the most. Well, no. just start developing the healthy habit of journaling or putting on a piece of paper your small wins and celebrating that with yourself and your close your close circle of friends that you deeply trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just trauma dump or overshare or screw yourself over with your blessings with those jealous, envious, toxic coworkers. All right. Okay. The fifth thing I want to mention is you got to prioritize your self-care and your mental health when working with those kinds of individuals. Make sure that you have some kind of self-care ritual to come home and decompress. What I do is I come home, I like to play my little bingo game for 15 minutes. I don't know why, it just like helps me detach from work like so easy, and I will set a timer on my phone for 15 minutes so I don't sit there and overplay it for too long. And then sometimes I'll go take a bath and cleanse with water. Sometimes I'll do some energy healing. Sometimes I'll do journaling, right? Like, it just depends. It really depends. And I love to cook. And so I feel like making myself a really yummy, tasty, nourishing home-cooked meal is self-care and very nurturing to my mental health, because I'm basically telling myself I love myself so much. I deserve a fresh, tasty, home-cooked meal, whenever I deserve it and whenever I want. And so I give that to myself. And that helps me with my self-care and my mental health. But yeah, you guys gotta start denying access to your energy from these toxic individuals. That is the only way you are going to get these parasitic people off of you. Think about it like mosquitoes. You gotta swat them to either kill them or make them go away. So silence is gonna be your swatting technique, all right? And then the last thing I wanted to mention was how to know when it's time to leave that work environment. You are gonna know, these are the signs to watch for. When you are constantly daydreaming about leaving or fantasizing about a different job. Now, a lot of us do this all the time anyway, because we're just like so sick of going to work for somebody in general, but this is just more of the extreme side of it, where it's like you're doing this so hard that you can't even focus. You can't even focus on the current job that you're doing, right? So it's like me going to work, and then it's like me not being able to focus on my serving job, and like for whatever reason, I literally just cannot run my food. I can't get drinks. Like it's affecting me that bad. You know what I'm saying? So second thing is you're feeling extremely stuck, super unfulfilled, and disconnected from your career. You know what it means to feel unfulfilled. You dread going there. You're just like, oh, why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? Okay, like if you're going through that motion every single shift, that is your biggest indicator that you are out of alignment with that job. I went through this when I first moved to Utah, and I went back into the bar industry. I used to bartend for a few years, and I got really comfortable with it because of the money it was bringing me, but unfortunately the job itself was just totally out of alignment with where I was going in life. And it's so funny because now I can look back and see exactly why, like I'm not meant to be doing it. But at the time, every single shift, I would pull up in the parking lot and I would be like, oh my God, it took everything to get out of my car. It took everything to get out of my car and just be there in the first place. All right. So, when you feel like that absolute dread every single day that you're scheduled, that is the biggest indicator that it's time to go. And then the last thing is having the realization that that job no longer aligns with your values or future goals. If you have no idea what your goals are, if you have no idea what your values are, use ChatGPT. See if there's some kind of value assessment that you can look for and take and figure out what are your basic values, what it is that you value in your life. Do you value entertainment? Do you value watching sports? Okay, do you value making time for games? Do you value freedom? Okay, are you going to make the time to learn how to become financially free or like job free or time free or whatever it is? Okay, figure out those values. And that's going to give you a sense of clarity and a sense of direction in your life. And then eventually that's going to help you establish future goals. And I know I couldn't establish any kind of goals until I figured out what my values were. And I figured out a little bit about my purpose and like what I'm supposed to be doing. And that actually helped me establish goals. I just did some goal work today. But yeah. And your goals can be fluid. They can change. Don't put so much restriction and expectation on those goals. allow yourself to change them when necessary and when you feel like you need to. I feel like I wish I would have had somebody tell me that, because everyone's like, oh, set these goals, but it's kind of like in stone in a way, and I don't like that. I like it to be fluid and changing, to be in my highest alignment in moment to moment. So anyways. So yeah, the goal of this entire podcast is to teach you guys how to regain control of the situation, regain control of your power, find that inner confidence within, and stay emotionally balanced, okay? So I hope today that by discussing these practical strategies for managing these relationships with the narcissist at work, learning to set healthy boundaries, protecting your reputation, and just maintaining your peace while still advancing professionally, I really hope all of my personal life experience has helped you do that in some form or fashion. Just know that you guys can do this, and don't be scared, because that's exactly what they want from you. They want you to feel fear. They want to intimidate you like a big bully. Don't allow that. Stop allowing it. Stop giving them permission to make you feel a certain kind of way. All right? Nobody can mess with your happiness unless you give them permission to do that. All right? I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in next week's episode for our next Wednesday deep dive. I'm going to talk about how you guys could literally make it in the world coming out of a narcissistic family system, and I can't wait to go deeper into that. But I love you guys so much. Check out my new links. I'm adding some new stuff, expanding to my business and everything. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.